Good morning, Oxygen, and everybody else that watches these videos. I want to talk about a concept today that I don't think is necessarily completely forgotten today in church and in Christian circles, but it's definitely one that we avoid and stay away from more often than not. And I want to just kind of go talk about it and then hopefully maybe give a little bit of perspective on it and maybe some new perspective. But it's the concept of discipline and God disciplining us. I think the problem is that so many of us have experienced discipline the wrong way. We've experienced abuse or yelling and screaming or manipulation or whatever it is in some form of discipline. And so any variations, Connor's over there talking, any variation of any type of discipline we run from. And we try to ignore that part of our relationship with God. We prevent ourselves from keying on that. God's always happy with us. God always loves us. We pray the prayers of, we want to feel God. We want the I feel you in worship God, not the full 100% everything that God is God. We want to sense Him, know Him, and be intimate with Him, so we say, but we don't always want to hear Him tell us that we need to work on something, or that we've responded to somebody the wrong way today, or that, you know what, you should concede in this argument even though you're right, because that's what Jesus did. He conceded in the argument even though He was right. And in Hebrews 12:1 it says, "Therefore, since we're surrounded by such a great cloud of witnesses, let us throw off everything that hinders and the sin that so easily entangles, and run the race of perseverance set out for us. Fix our eyes on Jesus," it says in verse 2, "the author and perfecter of our faith, who for the joy set before Him endured the cross, scorning its shame, and sat down at the right hand of God. Consider Him who endured this opposition from sinful men, so that you will not grow weary in your heart." Verse 4, "In your struggle against sin," man, he's cute, Simon, huh? "In your struggle against sin, you've not yet resisted to the point of shedding your blood. And you have forgotten the word of encouragement that addresses you as sons. It says, 'My son, do not make light of the Lord's discipline. Do not lose heart when He rebukes you, because the Lord disciplines those He loves, and He punishes everyone He accepts as a son.'" Why? Why does this have to be a part of relationship with God and really relationship? And for me as a father, the answer is obvious. It's clear. The picture is right here. We are self-destructive. We are. Think about the decisions we would make. The decisions we choose to make. Naturally, my son is not even 2 years old yet. And his natural reaction to a street is to run into it. Now, is he trying to take his own life? Obviously not. But we're self-destructive. We want to run where we shouldn't. And God says, listen, I have to discipline you to get you on track, to help you make the right choices. If I completely made every decision in my life without any influence from God, there's no telling where I'd be right now. God's not disciplining out of hatred. He's disciplining out of love. As it says, God, the Lord disciplines those He loves. And the thing that we have to remember is it's all in perspective. God doesn't discipline us from this heavy-handed, anger-filled, hatred discipline where He just wants to get us in trouble and tear us down all the time. God is love. And He disciplines those He loves. So we have to remember it comes through a filter of God being patient, of God being kind. He does not envy, He does not boast, He's not rude, He's not self-seeking, He's not easily angered, He keeps no record of wrongs, He does not delight in evil, but rejoices with truth. We got to remember these things. Not only that, but He always trusts, protects, hopes, and perseveres for you. He always hopes that you're going to make it. He always trusts that you can be the person that God's called you to be, and He'll always protect you in His discipline. But He does discipline. He's expecting you to grow today. He's expecting me. It's not a thought, a wish, a desire. It's an expectation. Salvation was free, but living for Him is not. He took us how we are, but He'll never leave us that way. And so we've got to remember the 24-hour challenge. Today, I need to allow God to discipline me. I need to realize that, you know what, in the corruption and the bankruptcy of who I am, God doesn't want to leave me bankrupt. He wants to deposit things into my life so my bank account gets full and I become the person He's called me to be. Now, it's not this horrible, awful, you suck, you might as well go eat worms kind of thing. It's in a, hey, we can do this together. I believe in you. I love you. And I want you to experience everything I have for you. So you know what? I got to slap your hand when you run in the street, because in the street you can get hit by cars. And I don't want you to get hit by a car, because I have a plan for you. And if you get hit by a car and you experience spiritual death, you won't be able to achieve the plan I have. So please allow me to discipline you, because I only do it because I love you. Hebrew 12, 1 through 6.